Okay. So today we're going to start we're still in the same chapter. We're going to start section 6, problem solving using charts. So we're going to use the skills that we've had to build some charts, and then the charts will help us to solve some equations. And so that's what we're going to do today. By the way, before you all leave, make sure you get a copy of the take-home quiz. The take-home quiz is for you to take home tonight and return tomorrow. So that's not to take home tonight and return it sometime next week. So do it tonight and return it tomorrow. There's not a lot of questions.
So that's the only homework?
No, you'll have homework tonight, but there's a take-home quiz, which shouldn't be too long. I mean, I think there were 10 problems. It's not very...
You can always sit on the board?
No, I'll pass it on before you leave. What I'm saying is when the bell rings, don't everybody grab your thing and run for the door and then somebody say, I didn't get my quiz. So that make sure you have it. So before you leave tonight, make sure you have your quiz.
So we have
and really quick, let me give you tonight's homework so you can write it in your agenda before we start. And it is 2 through 8, 10 through 18.
Evens?
2 through 8 even. You'll have to look up the page number. And 10 through 18 even. And that's not many, so that's 4 and 4. Let's 8. You look it up. You're in the section. I don't have the page number in front of me. I got 120, 123, and 124. I'll skip the mixed review since you have the take-home test. I won't assign the mixed review. So you have 8 problems here for homework. Now these are word problems, so they're going to be a little longer, but there's 8 problems. So do that with the take-home quiz. You don't have to worry about the mixed review, and so then the homework won't be overbearing, okay? Okay. So make sure you write that down before you leave, because some of you forget to put it in your agenda, then you go home and you don't remember what the homework is. And then you look it up online, and then you're going to see all that mixed review with it, and do all the extras, and you're going to come home and say, Mr. Sager gave me 80 problems for homework, plus a take-home quiz. So don't mistake what the homework is. There's 8 problems for homework, and then there's a take-home quiz. Okay. So let's start this. We're going to make some charts, and...
There are 9 problems.
Oh my goodness, my charts didn't show up. Unbelievable. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Did you
Okay.
not say?
Yes, that's fine. I printed the charts ahead of time, and apparently they didn't, but that's fine. We can draw some charts. All right, so we're going to go to page number. We're on page 121. So your homework is on page 123, 124. And so we're going to do some problems here. So the first one says one board is 4 inches wide and 8 inches longer than a board 2 inches wide. Okay? And so the idea of this section is we're going to make some charts. So let me make a chart here.
You have an intelligent pen?
I do. Okay. So let me make some charts here. And the first thing I want to put in my chart is what's involved. So what are we talking about here? What things are we talking about in this problem?
We're talking about 4, 8, and 2.
Well, not the numbers. What type of things are we talking about? I'm sorry? What? Nothing. Okay. Somebody tell me, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about a board.
We're talking about 2 boards, right?
Yeah.
Because they're comparing 2 boards. Okay? So in my chart, and if you're taking notes, you should write these down. First board. So I just had these typed so that you didn't have to read my handwriting because it's hard to write around the smart board, but that's all right. So you have 2 boards.
What if we don't take notes?
Well, then it'll be very difficult for you when you're trying to do homework later. Okay? And let's see. And what sorts of how are we comparing these 2 boards? What are we looking at? Look at the word problem, and what are we comparing here? We're comparing 2 boards, but what are we comparing? They're what?
The length and the width.
Their lengths and their widths. Good. Okay. And so, what you want to do is fill in the chart as much as we can. So what can we fill in here? Alex? What do we know from the word problem? Just we're going to fill in these boxes with the stuff that we know.
4 inches wide.
Okay. Which one? First board or second? The first board is 4 inches wide. Good. Felix, what are you going to fill in?
8 inches long for the first board.
Well, it says that it's 8 inches longer than on the second board. So it doesn't say it's 8 inches long, it just says it's 8 inches longer. Why don't we start with the widths? Because I think the problem tells you what the widths are. Does it tell us what the width of board 2 is?
2 inches.
I'm sorry?
2 inches.
2. So we know that. Okay. Weston, for the lengths, so the length is a little bit harder. So how are we going to fill in the length?
First board and second board.
You tell me. We do either one.
Okay. Do first board. Well, it's gonna be like plus 8 or I don't know.
Well, what don't you know? Do you know what the length of board 1 is?
No.
Do you know what the length of board 2 is?
I don't think so.
So what do you use if you don't know something?
Not a variable.
A variable. So you have to let one of those be a variable. So do you want the length of board 1 or the length of board 2 to be your variable?
1.
Okay. So you can make this x. So if x is 1, or I'm sorry, if the length of board 1 is x, what is the length of board 2? So it says board 1 is 4 inches wide and 8 inches longer than board 2. So this is 8 inches longer than this. So what would this be?
X plus 2. 8.
Not x plus 8,
Minus 8.
x minus 8, right? Because which one is longer, board 1 or board 2?
Board 1.
Board 1, right? So this is 8 inches shorter. You could have done this, and I'll use a different color. There's more than one way to do this. Weston could have made this as x, and then this would have been x, what would this be? Plus 8, right? Either way will work. Okay, so you can make either one your variable. It's just whether you want to deal with addition and subtraction. Most of us prefer to work with addition. So you'll find the problem easier if you make this your x and just add 8 to it. But either one would work. That's all we're doing for this. Okay, so when you see problems like this in the homework, that's all it's asking here is to set up a chart. So that's all we did. All right. Let's move on to...
It's got to be a cat. That's too simple.
Well, I don't think there's a catch. Eventually we'll have to solve some problems. All right. So let me make another chart here. And this one is my... I'm sorry, what? Yeah, the intelligent pen works nice. Okay.
It's intelligent.
Okay. So we're going to start filling some stuff in. Okay, Eric. Jess bought some boxes of lemonade at 70 cents a box. He bought 8 fewer boxes. Oh, that's supposed to be boxes with an extra I got in there. Of punch at 60 cents per box. So what sorts of things are we dealing with? So over here on this side, I'm going to put sort of what I'm dealing with. So Eric, what am I dealing with here?
And
Well, I'm not talking about numbers. Just what sorts of things am I dealing with?
boxes.
Boxes of what?
Fruity drinks.
Okay. There's more than one, so give me the 2 different kinds of fruity drinks that I got. That's what I'm asking for.
Punch and lemonade.
Punch and lemonade. Okay.
There you go. There's
Lemonade and punch. Good. Okay. Now, Dan, notice what I have here. It's a box of lemonade. It's 70 cents a box. So we have how are they comparing the lemonade and the punch? What are they using? Because here we're not using length and width. How are they comparing these things up here? Okay. All right. Number of boxes. Good. What else? So they're comparing the number of boxes they have. What else? What else are they comparing?
How much they cost.
Right. Okay. The price per box. And then, if I take my number of boxes and I multiply the price per box, then I end up with my cost, right? Okay. So we'll start filling some stuff in here. And I think on the menu here is do I have the smart pen on? This makes it easy. No, it's not. Okay. All right, Desiree, what do you want to fill in? You can fill in any of these things. So what do you want to start filling in? What do you want to fill in into our chart?
Lemonade costs 70 cents.
Lemonade costs 70 cents.
Per box.
70 cents per box. Good. Elise, what do you want to fill in?
Punch.
And what do you want to fill in?
Number of boxes.
Okay, how many boxes?
L minus 8.
I'm sorry? I didn't hear what you said.
L minus 8.
L. Okay. You bought 8 fewer boxes of punch. And that was for the punch?
Yeah.
Okay. L minus 8. Okay. How about Katie? What do you want to fill in here?
60 cents.
60 cents. Okay. Shay, what do you want to fill in?
The lemonade, just L.
Just L, the lemonade. Good.
I don't know points.
And, I'm sorry?
I know points with the wood.
And that's all the information we have, right, up from our problem. So how will we figure out the cost? Somebody? Hojin, how will I figure out what the cost is? How do I fill in this box right here? What's the cost of the lemonade? If we take our number, multiply our number of boxes times our price per box, it'll give us our cost.
70L.
Good. 70L. I just was a little confused when she said the L because I used an X in mine, but I understand why you use L because lemonade, so that's fine. Felix, how much does the punch cost? Be careful. How much does the punch cost? 60 cents? 60 cents per box. Well, I want the total cost. He has L minus 8 boxes, and there's 60 cents a box. What do I have to use?
So 52.
Well, I'm multiplying this times this, right? Do you see that? Because we're multiplying this times this equals this times this equals this. So I'm going to multiply these things, right? What property do I have to use when I multiply something by, notice here I have a quantity because I have something adding and subtracting. What do I have to use? Good. So how will I distribute this over here?
60 times L
60L minus,
8.
I'm sorry?
8.
You got to distribute to the whole thing. 60 times 8, right? That's what the distributive property is. I distribute to the L, I distribute to the 8. Everything in the parentheses, everything in the group gets some. So what's 60 times 8? 480. Notice that they haven't yet asked us to solve anything. We're just setting up these charts. Does anybody have a question on how we set up the chart?
No.
That's all we're doing here. And the idea is they want to teach you to use these charts to help organize your information. So once you have a chart, you figure out what you're dealing with and how you're comparing your variables, and then you fill them in, and then eventually they'll ask you to solve problems. So that's all there is for this.
It's completely
Okay. Common sense. All right. Let's see. Carrie has 40 more nickels. Guys. Carrie has 40 more nickels than Joan has dimes. They both have the same amount of money. How many coins does each girl have? Now notice that not only are they asking, well, not only do we have to set up a chart to help solve this, it asks us to solve something. It says, how many coins does each girl have? So let's set up a chart. Tools. Intel pen.
Mr. Sega,
Yes.
can we stop at the left? Can we stop here and not have to solve until tomorrow?
No. You won't be able to do your homework if you don't set up the chart and solve it.
Change the
Okay.
homework.
This is not new. Okay. And then. Okay. Okay. What are we dealing with here, Gianna? What are we dealing with? Because over here we sort of put, what are we dealing with here? What? We don't have boards, we don't have fruit punch and lemonade. What do we have? Okay, okay, that's how we're comparing things, so we'll use that over there. So, what are we going to put over here?
Joan and Carrie.
A couple of girls, right? We have Carrie. And we have, who did you say? Joan. Okay. Good. We have Joan and Carrie. Now notice here, what do we have? It talks about money, so it talks about coins. And notice that the coins are different. So coins have different values. Some coins are worth 1 cent, and some coins are worth 25 cents, and some are worth 10 cents. So notice something, that you have to, you have a, well, you tell me, what are we dealing with, Felix? How do we compare the coins? How does money compare? What do we have? What's the problem dealing with?
We have nickels and dimes.
Okay, so how are we comparing them?
How much?
Okay,
How much they have.
how much? Okay, that's eventually what we want, because that's what it asks, how much, so that's fine. How much? In money, by the way, you're going to see this word, especially in the next section. It's called value. How much? How much? Okay, that's how much. What else, Felix? How do we figure out how much they have? How much it's worth? How much value they have?
Nickels is 5 and dimes is
Okay, but you're sort of filling in the chart. I just want sort of a big picture. How do we do it? If you didn't know the numbers, how do you figure out? If I told you I have some coins in my pocket, how would you? And I had 6 coins and they're all quarters. How would you figure out how much I have?
6 times 25.
You take the number of coins, right?
Yeah.
The number of coins, just like the number of boxes before, remember? So the number of coins, and what would you multiply it by?
By the value.
The value of each coin. Good. So if you take the number of coins I have in my pocket and you multiply it by how much each one of those coins individually is worth, you get total how much money I have in my pocket. Okay? And so that's what it is. So Carrie has some money in her pocket, and Joan has some money in her pocket. And so we have to figure out what type of coin they have, how many coins they have, how much those coins are worth a piece, and then we'll figure out how much they have. Okay, so now we'll start filling in our chart. Sorry. So we'll start with Katie. What can I fill in?
We could do 40.
Let's start with the easiest one, the value of a coin, because you know how much a coin's worth.
Yeah.
What coins are they dealing with?
Nickels and
So Carrie has dimes. How much is a dime worth?
Carrie.
Carrie has, Carrie has nickels. You're right, I'm sorry.
So he has 41.
Right, but I just want the value of a coin. How much is a nickel worth?
5.
5. And if I do this in cents, it's going to be a lot easier. I could put 0.05, but then you have to multiply everything by 100. So if I do this in cents, it's going to be a lot easier for you to solve. So when we do these, we're going to do them in cents. Just keep that in mind. All right, and then, so if the value of Carrie's money is 5 cents a piece, how much is the value of Joan's money a piece? 10, because she's got dimes. Okay. Now, Desiree, now we have to figure out the number of coins they have. Okay? How are you going to do that?
You're going.
I'm not sure you want to divide. Notice that it compares by saying Carrie has 40 more nickels than Joan.
So it's no.
So which one do you want to be your variable? Carrie or Joan's number of coins?
C for coin.
Right, and who do you want to have be the C? That's fine. I'll just use an X, but which one? Do you want Carrie to have X?
No. Carrie.
No, but you want it to be Carrie? Okay, so then how many would Joan have? If Carrie has X number of coins, how many does Joan have? not something. You gotta look at the problem and what number does she have more than? 40, right? Okay. Can carry be x plus 40? Yes, that makes a little more sense because this would have to be 40 minus x. So the addition is gonna be easier, right? So carry actually that's not. Oh, so Joan would be the x, yeah. If you use this for the x, then you have to do a subtraction problem. So it's a lot easier than that because Carrie has 40 more nickels than Joan has coins. So Carrie has 40 more coins than Joan has. And so now that's all we have from the problem. And now we have to figure in how much they have. How much do they have, Alex? How much does Carrie have? I'm sorry, say that again? X plus 40 is the number of coins Carrie has. And each of those coins are worth 5. So how much? So in order to get it, I have to multiply those to find out what they are. So how would I do that?
X plus 40.
So you got to speak a little louder, sorry.
X plus 40 times 5.
X plus 40 times 5. What is that? What is 5 times x plus 40? I'm asking you when you multiply, what do you come out with? What do you have?
5x.
5x. I'm sorry?
Plus 40.
Oh, see, that's the mistake some of you are going to make. Okay? It's not plus 40. Notice, what do you have? You're multiplying.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
So it's
You're multiplying by quantity. You got to use your distributive property. And the 5 goes to the x and to the 40. Okay. 5x plus 200. Okay, Felix. How much value does Joan have? I'm sorry? You're multiplying x times 10 and getting 200? You're all done up here. There's nothing more in the word problem. All you're doing is multiplying 2 things. All you're doing is multiplying 10 times x. What is 10 times x? 10x. Don't overthink this, guys. Just multiply this times this and get that. Let's solve this. Well, it tells you here they both have the same amount of money. Okay? So they're saying that those are the same amount of money. Hang on. You have 5x plus 200 equals 10x, right? And then you solve this just like you would a normal equation. Once you get to here, it's just what we've been doing. Notice if I subtract 5x from each side, I'm left with 200 equals 5x. And if I divide 5 by both sides, by the way, do you guys all have calculators?
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, those who have calculators, if you bring them in, I'm going to show you how to use that to do some of these transformations, and it'll help you. So if you have a calculator, bring it in.
It's like the fancy one?
Yeah, the graphing one.
Oh, I have that. I have the choice.
Not all of you have it, but the ones who do. All right. Notice 5 multiplied by 5 divided by 5 just leaves me x. 200 divided by 5 is 40. So what does that tell me? 40 is the number of coins that Joan has.
Wait.
How many coins does Carrie have, say? We know x is 40, so how many coins does Carrie have? 80. All right, guys. Make sure you take your take-home quizzes. Don't leave without them, home kids. Where does the take-home quizzes go? Right here. Make sure you take one.
I want one.
Oh.
Can I have one?
You can all have one.
Wait.
Hey, one guy.
Nate.
Can I have
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll take
You
one.
not get one yet?
No.
You have your other stuff to take too. Are you ready to do that yet, or are you still doing that other stuff? Okay. Let me know when you're ready. No rush.
This is woman.
Oh, just throw it right in the box there. You too.
See you later.